Special Grade, the peak of the Jujutsu world, only held by 4 sorcerers in the entirety of our beloved manga: Yuta, Gojo, Geto, and Yuki. This level of sorcery is only held by the best of the best, and in today's video, let's see if there's more of this caliber. What's up guys, Gamblrr here, and in today's video, we'll be redoing an old video I made at the beginning of my channel. Special Grade, who qualifies? Hope you guys enjoy, and so let's stop the yap and dive straight in. The reason Special Grade is so exclusive is because of the many requirements and specific criteria characters have to meet to become one. For one, we know directly that the requirement is the ability to overthrow a nation by yourself, as Kenjaku states to Choso. Gojo is able to do this because, well, we already had a statement that he could kill everyone in the world if he wanted to. Yuki could do it because her curse technique is so powerful it literally endangers the entire earth. Yuta can do it because of Rika, who has an infinite supply of curse energy, so the outcome is plausible, but the one I want to focus on is Geto. Geto is clearly not on the level of the other 3. He lost to baby Yuta, he has no domain expansion, and has no reverse curse technique. Literally nothing. The thing that put him at Special Grade was his curse technique. With it, Geto has the potential to create an army of all curse spirits he has in store. Heck, he let out some of them during the night parade, held up everyone on the other side, and was boxing with Yuta. This shows us that it's not particularly strength in specific that allows Special Grade. Unless you're just another tier above everyone like Gojo is, it's not really about that. With that being said, if you didn't notice, the wording of the title today is on purpose. Every Special Grade level character. This is to emphasize that people can be at the Special Grade level, meaning being able to box with the actual Special Grades, but wouldn't necessarily be able to take down a country like the Special Grades can. There's also the other way around, as some characters can probably take down a country and be graded as a Special Grade, but isn't on the level of the others. The main example of this is Principal Yaga. How many of y'all knew that Yaga was supposed to be a Special Grade? Yeah, now imagine Yaga versus Yuki. So here's how this video is gonna go. I have a list of characters and I'm gonna explain which list they fit in, Special Grade or Special Grade level. Make sense? Let's get into it. Ryomen Sakuna is the first character on this list, and I don't think anyone is really surprised. He's the strongest in the verse and boxed with the strongest Special Grade, so he's at the bare minimum Special Grade level. As for taking out a country, it's pretty obvious he can do that as well. I mentioned earlier that Yuta is a Special Grade because Rika has unlimited curse energy, and also, well, Rika is strong as heck by herself. The same goes for Sakuna, but like times infinity. Sakuna not only has twice the curse energy pool of Yuta, but also his curse energy efficiency is so high that they compare it directly to the 6 eyes. Of course, the 6 eyes completely dwarf him. Gojo cannot lose curse energy, but regardless, this means Sukuna's stamina is unmatched by everyone except for Gojo. With that in mind, Sakuna can send slashes that destroy buildings and the area around him with 0 effort, dozens, hundreds, heck, thousands of times without breaking a sweat. Not to mention his domain expansion and fire arrow that turns everything within it to ash. Now that I realize it, didn't Sakuna technically do this back in the Heian era? During the Yorozu flashback, we see that Sakuna is worshipped as a god to sacrifice for and pray to for good harvest. He crushed the military they had and made them submit to him with fear. That's a Special Grade, no doubt. Next is Kenjaku, and I just needed to get this out of the way because he literally has Geto's body and curse technique, so he's by default Special Grade. As for Special Grade level, he's that as well, being stronger than Geto due to his experience, battle IQ, and extra curse technique. By the way, did you know that he had millions of cursed spirits in his possession at one point? Yeah, he could have definitely ran up an entire continent if he wanted to. Yuji Itadori is the main boy everyone has been talking about for Special Grade status, and this isn't for no reason. He's boxing alongside the second strongest Special Grade, Yuta, and not holding him back in any way. He's the one who defeated Sakuna, the strongest sorcerer of all time, and holds not 1 but 2 curse techniques at his disposal. Not to mention he has reverse curse technique and now a domain expansion. Now, while I will admit he is at the special grade level, when it comes to being graded special grade, I don't really see how that could be possible. Yuji's dismantles are weak. He needed to use binding vows to make them stronger. Of course, this isn't his fault, he just got them, but that could have been his main asset if he was trying to go against an entire country. His blood manipulation is also subpar. While he has supernova, that's not doing anything against any artillery standing against him. His actual biggest asset is his crazy physical stats and his punches, but it's like eventually Yuji just going to fall. Sakuna said Yuji reached his limit at the end despite dude only using a couple dismantles and like 2 blood manipulation techniques. Mind you, Yuji was hitting a bunch of black flashes. I don't quite see how Yuji can take down an entire country by himself with just a couple strong punches and a curse technique so weak that he has to make he had to make direct contact to cut a pillar. That man is not special grade, but you can give him special grade level. Kinji Hikari is a character I find quite interesting in these talks because I think it's Hikari's alternating that allows him for his status from gojo. Hikari has 2 forms, base and jackpot, and in base, while he is strong, special grade is super far-fetched. Notice how I didn't say special grade level though, because Hikari in base is way too underrated by the community. I'll get into that in a second though. However, Hikari in his jackpot state is where the talks get interesting because this state is underrated. I didn't mention this earlier, but in my original video from 2 years ago, I actually said that Yuta was special grade because Rika had a blast and Yuta had cursed speech. Clearly after 2 years I know how stupid that sounds, and so now it makes sense why Hikari's special grade talks are so prominent. Like I said already in this video, I think it was Rika's immense strength paired with her unlimited curse energy that made Yuta special grade. She would go on a rampage and never slow down. The same can be said with Hikari in Jackpot. Within Jackpot mode, Hikari has access to infinite curse energy. He never gets tired and there's no slight fatigue like Gojo with the 6 eyes. None of that. He has infinite curse energy that constantly flows throughout him. With that, it enabled him to have the best reverse curse technique in the entire series. So in Jackpot, Hikari will be immortal and have 0 signs of slowing down. That right there is a state fit for special grade, just like Rika and Sakuna. Insanely powerful but with insane stamina. Hikari will never let up, and so taking out a country, while it won't be easy, would be in view because time doesn't matter. He has no limits. With that being said, Hikari himself isn't special grade, but it's when he turns into Jackpot that he becomes one. As for special grade level, he was there before even getting introduced. This statement alone puts him at that level. Maki and Toji Zenin are next, and they're an anomaly in the system. If you didn't know, Gege was actually asked directly if Toji would have been special grade, and Gege didn't answer it, but instead he made it known that the higher ups don't care for grading the heavily restricted. This is why no matter how strong they would have become, they wouldn't be graded anyways because they're not actual sorcerers like the other special grades. With that being said though, they're on this list because they're at the very least special grade level. Toji himself was relative to Teen Gojo before his awakening, and that Gojo himself has an argument for special grade. Just like I said before, Gojo has the 6 eyes, so he has basically infinite curse energy. The only thing is his strain from not having reverse curse technique. The main thing of note from this is that Toji is at the very least relative to that, but Maki is the main one carrying here. She's put on the level of Yuta and Hikari all the time. She fought Sakuna herself and was dubbed a heavy hitter by Kenjaku, so she's definitely on that level. As for the title of special grade, that one's more complicated. Maki has actually already shown us a glimpse of her expertise in, massacres. She utterly obliterated the Zenin clan, with everyone being a wielder and skilled manipulator of curse energy, and some of them with their own curse techniques. She then went on to Lotif, the strongest and fastest in the entire clan, Naoya, all with multiple nerfs. For one, she wasn't at full power regarding her heavenly restriction. This meant she didn't have the precognition she has now, as well as the ability to jump on air. Second, she was suffering from blood loss because just a moment ago her dad almost killed her. So regardless of the previous nerf, she was nowhere near her full strength. And the final thing is her sword being a regular sword. Soul Split Katana was literally just a katana in the hands of that Maki. This of course goes hand in hand with the first point because this was due to her incomplete heavenly restriction that she couldn't use it to the best of his capabilities. With a full heavenly restriction, Maki should be able to attack the soul of literally everything she touches with the katana. This means she one-shots every single human she encounters, but also she'd one-shot all artillery put against her. The durability and the toughness of the object would not matter if they have a soul, and Maki's able to see it all. All of this applies to Toji as well. He has the original Soul Split Katana with a full heavenly restriction and a whole inventory of weapons to use if need be. Did I also mention that they have insane stamina? I don't really see why the two of them individually would not be able to cook a whole country. Nothing they have can work against them. They slash the souls of literally everything standing in front of them. I'll definitely give them that title. Kashimo is up next, and this is another really weird case. Kashimo is definitely special grade level. He was fighting against Jackpot Hikari, who we said is special grade level, even though Hikari was just stronger, but that's a topic for another day. Anyways, as for the other side, can Kashimo actually take down an entire country? The first thing I will say is that Kashimo can't by any means use his curse technique. His curse technique is a one-time use only, and as soon as he pops it, he's on a time limit. When he used it against Sakuna, it's told to us that Kashimo's curse technique pushes his body way past the limits of humans. And because of that, as soon as it turns off, his body will crumble. It's a suicide curse technique basically, so we have to focus on just his base form. I just want to make it known that if his curse technique was infinite, yeah, he would be special grade. In base, the only thing dude has regularly is his martial arts and his staff. That is not gonna cut it, and he doesn't even have a reverse curse technique. But I did say regularly because the one thing he can count on is his lightning. This is what puts Kashimo on that high level in base. Without it, Hikari would have deleted him way easier than he did. The thing is, I can't really just sit here and act like he can just spam this and take down an entire country because of it. He would definitely have a good run and go a long time because none of the things I mentioned take actual curse energy, but I need something more for me to just say, yeah, he's special grade. Y'all can tell me in the comments if I'm bugging though. Next I have Yorame. Yorame is special grade level. They were stalemating Hikari, a special grade sorcerer like we said earlier, but also Kusakabe implies that they could stall Yuta as well if they were to fight. This is all obvious and I don't think anyone disagrees with this, but I want to focus on their fight with Hikari. I've never talked about this on the channel for real, but I think base Hikari is way stronger than we thought. In chapter 237, Hikari traps Yorame in his domain expansion, and at the end of chapter 238, we see Hikari and Yorame exited with Hikari smiling and fully clothed. We see this again in chapter 245, there are no clothes gone on him, but we literally see like a couple pages later that if Yorame hits him at all in any way, at least a part of his clothes will be ripped off. That means that in base, Hikari didn't get hit by Yorame at all. No, Hikari wouldn't use pseudo spins because his domain expansion isn't in guaranteed jackpot mode, and even if he did use them, there is still an interval between the re-scenario and getting the jackpot. If you're lost on what I'm talking about, go watch this video, I'll tag it right here. Also, this isn't the case of Gege just forgetting because we literally see him make Hikari lose more clothes between chapter 245 and chapter 252. This gives credence to an argument I made a year ago about Hikari's fighting style. In base, when he has no way to guarantee a heal, he won't fight as recklessly as he does in jackpot. So base Hikari is able to avoid damage from Yorame. That's special grade level right there. Anyways, as for Yorame themselves, I can't really say they can take down an entire country. They have good RCT and good damage control, but I don't think just freezing everything will give them the chance to overtake a country. I need a little more just to give them that. Ryu Ishiguro is a character I included in this list in that video 2 years ago, and it still holds in my opinion. He's definitely special grade level. I know Yuta fans don't want to hear this or believe it, which I respect, but Ryu was boxing with him. Before going into this feat, I need y'all to remember this. When you're significantly damaged, you become weaker. Peep Yuki for example. Now look at Ryu. This guy is significantly damaged. Then he continues to one-shot half manifested Rika, but his punch was also stated to be too much for full power Rika, so she's basically a non-factor between Yuta and Ryu's battle. He also had a domain expansion and was overpowering Yuta in hand-to-hand combat. They're relative whether you like it or not. As for the title of special grade, I actually think he takes it. He doesn't have reverse curse technique, but that doesn't really matter since Ryu has monstrous durability. His durability was so good, Sakuna needed to use durability adjustment to kill him. But what makes me think he could take down an entire country is his curse technique. Ryu's curse technique is basically creating blast with curse energy, and with it, we can see him casually creating city levels of destruction. And he just goes on to spam this kind of thing. He has the most curse energy output of anyone in JJK outside of Sakuna and Gojo as well. The fact that he just casually has this level of power that he can just throw around makes me think a country would fold almost instantly of going against this guy. Yorozu is kind of a controversial pick, but I think she should be included if Yorami is. She was at the very least pressing 15 finger Sakuna as we see her outpace his defenses. This scene right here carries everything in my opinion. We see her hit him while he's trying not to be hit. Even if Sakuna is holding back, any version of Sakuna past like 5 fingers is special grade level, so it's all up to that. As for taking down a country, this one's kinda weird. It's literally stated that Yorozu's curse energy efficiency was crap because of how taxing construction as a curse technique is. So as a result, she decided to create the bug armor we see her use against Sakuna. She's able to fly and she has better durability and strength, but that's it. Her armor was literally broken by brute force. The only thing going for her is the sphere, which theoretically would just kill everyone hit by it, but I can't really just sit here and act like this slow ass attack is enough for that. I'm not giving her that title, but you guys can tell me what you think in the comments. Mekamaru, yes, you heard that correctly, Mekamaru is on this list. He is not special grade level by any mean, but I do think he'd be a special grade if he were to come out alive against Mahito. Not only does Kenjaku himself state that the blasts he was letting out were at least special grade, but also he's literally an army maker. Look at this volume cover. You're telling me if the higher ups saw this, they wouldn't immediately give him special grade? He has an army of Mekamarus as well as Ultimate Mekamaru that head Hunter with special grade level attacks. That's easy. With all that being said, I yapped about a ton of characters who might have fit the bill for special grade, but also special grade level. What did you guys think though? Did I miss anyone? Let me know down in the comments. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.